side and welcome to my gel polish safe removal workshop. There are lots of different techniques that you can use to remove gel polish safely, and I'm going to show you in this workshop. So I really hope you guys enjoy it, so let's get started. So the safe removal of a gel polish can be done in 3 ways. So I've got this beautiful red on here, which is Red Rose from our Tiffany collection, and on top of that we have got I'd Rather Be Shiny. So this is the case for if you were doing a gel polish on a client's natural nails, or if they are on acrylics like I have got on here. So the first removal technique is wrapping the nail. So what I have got here is a lint-free pad, okay? And what I would do is I would fold that into quarters, all right? And then saturate that in some acetone. So this is pure acetone, okay? And you don't want to be using nail polish remover with acetone in it because it is not strong enough, okay? Now, depending on the brand of gel polish that you are using, it may mean that you have to remove this shiny layer, so just break into the top coat. So I would do that with a hand file and just really lightly go over the nail. You don't have to be specific about it. All you are doing is removing that top shine from the top coat and just breaking that seal so the acetone can really penetrate into that polish. So then what I would do is I would grab a piece of foil. Now you can get pre-made wraps for nails, but to be honest, foil and a lint-free pad with some acetone works just as well, if not better. So I've just folded over the top to make sure that there's no sharp edges and it's nice and comfortable when it goes on my client's finger. And this is the best technique for natural nails. Now I wouldn't necessarily do this. Now I have got acrylics on here, but I wouldn't necessarily do this on an acrylic nail. I would use one of the other 2 techniques. Now the reason for that is because acetone is not only going to start to break down the gel polish, but it is also going to start to break down your acrylic application. Now, I haven't got a natural nail on this hand, unfortunately, so I can't show you on a natural nail, but the technique is exactly the same. So I would go in, pop this folded edge onto the client's finger. Okay, now obviously I'm doing this one-handed because I am doing it on myself, and it is far easier to do it on a client because you've got both hands. So I'd pop this underneath their finger. I'd pop that lint-free pad that's saturated in acetone on top, and then you want to have a really tight application of your foil. So get that really nice and tight around the top of their finger. Obviously not too tight, you don't want to cut off their circulation. So it's nicely folded around their nail, and you can see there's a nice seal in there as well. And then I would come in and just fold that over and make it nice and comfortable. So you can see if they hold their finger up this way, you've got no seepage coming out here because we've got that nice tight seal on there. What you don't want to be doing is putting it on the nail like this and just scrunching it round like I've seen people do, because it's gappy. You're going to lose products and your acetone out of there. It's going to stop the heat from staying in there. Your clients, they're just going to start to come off, whereas this is nice and secure on the nail. Okay, so I would do all 10 of those, and then by the time you've done that and left them for a couple of minutes or made them a coffee or done whatever you need to do, then that nail will be ready to come back to. So like I say, I would do this technique on a natural nail rather than on acrylics, because I wouldn't want to start to break down, unless you're doing a full acrylic removal, I wouldn't want to start to break down that acrylic product that's underneath of our gel polish. So I'm going to leave that one to cook for a little bit, And then I'm going to show you the other two removal techniques on these two nails. So it's entirely up to you what you want to do. You can either hand file or e-file. So they are the two techniques. So I'm going to show you hand filing. Now, if I was a client coming into the salon, I would probably want these to be just infilled. Okay, now if you're doing a full acrylic removal, then I would use this technique, but if you're just doing an infill, then I would go in with this technique. So I would start on the side wall, and you can see how easy it is to remove our polish using this filing technique. Okay, so come along the side wall, come along the cuticle line, ignoring what's going on in the central line here. And as soon as that gel polish colour starts to be removed, so like here, then you need to move on to the next section. So then I would come along this side wall, just here, again, being really careful around the cuticle and side wall area. You don't want to be nipping your client. And then come right the way to that free edge. So you can see, if I just dust this off, you can see I've gone in around that skin area and removed all of that product. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to come in, start from my cuticle line and following the curvature of the nail, because if it's an infill, you want to keep as much of that structure in there as possible. And then just start to work my way from side to side, over that apex, over that free edge, and just really gently remove that colour. And you can see how easy that is and quick to remove our colour. So with that, obviously, if it's on acrylic, if they have any lifting or you need to file back and debulk, you can come in here, because obviously I've got a little bit of lifting there. You can come in and remove that at the same time, ready to be able to have your acrylic application and be able to do your infill. So I would then go in and infill this section here with no residual product on there whatsoever. Okay, now with this one, I'm going to show you how to e-file off your product. Now, it's up to you whether you are confident with regard to what bit you use. I tend to use a Tornado bit, okay, because it's really nice and fast and easy to do. If you're less confident using your e-file, then I would recommend to go in with a medium bit because it's less coarse, and if you're not as confident, then that it's slow and steady to remove with a medium bit. So again, I wouldn't do this on a natural nail, because the last thing you want to do is to overfile and cause issues with regard to the thinning of their nail plate. So this I would only do on my acrylic clients that have got that gel polish on there. So I'm just going to turn my e-file on. Now, when you come to remove the product from your client's nail, it is a case of being nice and slow and steady. So you don't want to be digging in to the client's nail and removing too much of that product. We literally just want to go in and remove that gel polish. So I'm right-handed, so I find it easier to come down this side first. Obviously, if you're left-handed, you would come in this way. And again, just like with our hand filing, you would come along that side wall and also their cuticle area. And you can see how nice and evenly we are removing that product. What you don't want to do is this, okay? We want slow, steady removal so that it's nice and even, and obviously not concentrating too much in one area, keeping that e-file moving at all times. So you can see here, I've just removed that top coat, and then you can go back over again, nice and slow and steady, and remove those layers of your gel polish. Now, I tend to work this way, so I work in a lateral way rather than in a horizontal way. And then again, I'm doing this on myself, so my angles are slightly different, but just coming in and removing that product from that side wall and cuticle area, being really careful not to catch their skin and have any contact there whatsoever. All right. And then again, just coming down nice and evenly and removing the rest of that product. Now, obviously, if this was a client, I will remove their product first of all, and then I would go in and remove any lifting. So we've got a little bit of lifting there. I would remove that, ready, like we did with hand filing, to go in and do our acrylic application. Now, I would also still go in with my hand file and refine that shape, but obviously that's not gel polish removal, it is refining and infilling. So just dusting those off, you can see this was hand filing, this was e-filing, and if you're confident with your e-file, it can be really, really quick just to get that gel polish off of your acrylic nails. So while I've been doing that, this nail has been left in to soak. And what I'm going to do now is go in and do my gel polish removal. So you can do a little test. You can take this off really nice and carefully, and you can see how beautifully that gel polish soaks off. Now, this is the Get Nailed by Lauren McBride gel polish, so I knew that that was going to do that. But some gel polishes can be slightly more stubborn, and it will require you to file off that little bit more. So I'm now going to go in really gently with my cuticle pusher, and you can use an orange wood stick for this. If it's on a natural nail, then I would recommend to do an orange wood stick because it is kinder to the nail, and just ease that gel polish off nice and carefully, coming around that cuticle line. So you can see what's happened here, because obviously this is an acrylic nail, that acetone has started to break down that acrylic just here. So this area had lifted because I hadn't actually prepped and primed my nails properly in order to do this video. So that's why I had that little bit of lifting there. So, but what will also happen by doing this technique, if you've got acrylic nails on, it will start to break down from the underside as well, which you don't want. So this technique is best on natural nails. So then what I would do is just go in with a soft file, just buff over the nail very, very gently. You could even use a white block buffer for this. So we're not filing into the nail whatsoever. We are just going in, refining that shape and etching the nail ready for our new gel polish application. So there you have it. We have got our wrap technique. Now, if that wasn't ready, what I could have done is just angled this back onto the nail and popped it back on for a little bit longer. But we didn't need that. It soaked off really nice and easily with one application, which is what you want really, especially when you're working to salon viable times. You want to be able to just get that gel polish off as quickly as possible. And then we did our hand filing routine to remove that gel polish, and also our e-filing routine. And there you have it, 3 simple ways of removing your gel polish. Now, what a lot of people also that I have seen is they put a bowl of water and then hot water, and then put a separate bowl into that of acetone and then soak their client's nails. Now, That technique is absolutely fine if that's what works for you, but personally I think it's not only a waste of product, but you're also overexposing your client's skin and nail plate and surrounding area to a really quite harmful product, which is acetone. So personally, I'm not a fan. And you're going to have to get rid of that acetone, so it's just an absolute waste. So by using the wrap technique, and you can see there's gel polish in there that has been removed, using the wrap technique is not only more cost effective, but it's also quicker, and there's less fumes flying around the salon, and it's just a much nicer way of removing your client's gel polish. So there you have it, safe gel polish removal, no damage to the natural nail, ready for your infill, and it's super quick as well. So that is how I personally remove gel polish from my clients' fingers.
I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please make sure you click the subscribe button, and if you want to see any future videos, just click them below. Thank you all so much for joining me, and I'll see you all soon.